Have you ever been in a heated discussion with someone who was hostile toward your beliefs? Yeah. Social media sometimes seems like a belief battleground, complete with trolls, flame wars, and tweet storms. Indeed, our newfound connectivity seems to transmit ideas, attitudes, doctrines, and quick judgments at light speed. So, in your heated discussion, how did you handle it? What did you say? Did you keep your cool and spirit? Well, the great prophet Alma, who's already dealt with other promulgators of pernicious philosophies, like Nehor, Amlici, and Zeezrom, now tells us of one Korihor, an antichrist. It's now 74 BC, and unlike these prior false prophets that twisted the gospel, Korihor completely abandons it. And his approach is simple. The only things that exist are what we can see. Today, we'd basically call him an atheist. But both Nehor's doctrine of universal salvation and Korihor's doctrine of solipsism, or super self-centeredness and selfishness, lead to the same captive path, to eat, drink, and be merry, because our actions have no consequences in the hereafter. And sadly, so many have now adopted these faithless ideas. Perhaps because of all our amazing scientific progress, some would have you believe that science is at war with faith. But in reality, they complement each other. While good science is universally provable to be true, true faith, on the other hand, is what we each believe to be true but can't yet prove. Faith begins where science ends, and scientific progress only happens through faith. And the greatest truth of all is that putting your full faith in Christ brings about eternal salvation. So after spreading his nasty seeds of doubt to the Zarahemlans, Korihor goes to Jershon. But he gets the boot by these devout Lamanites, and again by the righteous Gideonites. But here he breaks the law, and lies that church leaders are glutting on the people's money. So now Korihor is brought before Alma the Younger and Nephihah to be judged in an epic hostile doctrinal debate. Korihor boldly states, "Your foolish gospel is hurting people because it puts them into bondage by some unknown being that makes them feel guilty for the so-called sins of their parents, while you take their money. People have a right to do what they want, and there are no sins or crimes. Only what you see is real, and there will be no Christ because no one can know the future. All there is the here and the now. So make money with your smarts and conquer with your strength." But Alma refutes him with his always awesome questions. "You know we're not paid. So then why would we spend our lives teaching the people if it didn't bring us both great joy?" Alma continues, "What evidence do you have, Korihor, that there is no God? You, my friend, have a lying spirit, and the devil has power over you." But like all terrible debaters, Korihor just ignores his questions, and then just asks for a sign to prove God is real. To which Alma replies, "You know all things are a sign that God is real. Yes, all of creation on the earth, and all the planet's motions do always witness that there is a God." But Korihor again insists, "Show me a sign." And Alma, like Nephi, knows it's better that one soul perishes than letting him continue to cause such great harm. So he gives Korihor one last chance with a threat. "If you deny God once more, he will stop your mouth from ever speaking again." But foolish, hard-hearted Korihor can't help himself and goes ahead asking a third time, and bam! God gives him his sign, and Korihor can no longer speak. Korihor then confesses, on paper of course, that the devil appeared to him, ironically, as an angel and taught him what to say. And then Korihor asks Alma to pretty please now remove my curse. But Alma tells him, "I'm sorry, buddy. If I did, you'd go right back at it again." So now Korihor is reduced to being a beggar. And when he meets the Zoramites, he he gets trampled. And Mormon concludes this epic debate with a great epilogue, that unlike God, the devil does not support his children, but instead drags them speedily down to hell. And with that, Mormon segues us to chapter 31, as Alma learns of the wicked Zoramites, who, like the Amlicites, had already started to separate themselves from the Nephites. And Alma's greatly concerned that they're going to break off and join the Lamanites. Their leader, Zoram, is getting them to worship idols, break commandments, and, oddly, to say a set prayer once a week high up on a rameumptum stand in the middle of their synagogue. Their set prayer denies the true gospel, the coming of Christ, but thanks the Spirit God that they're more chosen than the Nephites. And then they never speak of God again, until the next week. From Alma, we can learn to ask ourselves, are our prayers repetitive and insincere? Are we praying enough daily to stay close to our Father in heaven? And then Alma leads his group, showing us what true prayer looks like, in contrast with the prayers of the Zoramites. He prays that his group may have strength, patience, and comfort to bear the sad things they'll see, and recognize how precious these souls are. Then he gives each of his companions a wonderful blessing, and they're filled with the Spirit. And who were these companions? Only the missionary dream team of Ammon, Aaron, Omner, and Himni, Amulek, Zeezrom, and Alma's two sons, Corianton and Shiblon. And so, with the joy of Christ, they head out to Antionum to, once again, reclaim a lost and fallen people.